Hello and welcome to SAP Learning Academy and welcome to this new tutorial. In this tutorial today I'm going to tell you about the anonymous block in SQLScript, and this tutorial is going to be very interesting because in my earlier sessions or procedures we have been learning about how to create procedures or function and their various functionality. Now in today's tutorial I'm going to tell you about the anonymous block, which has quite few similarity to procedure and also there are some differences. So I'm going to tell you everything today. So first I will tell you about the syntax. How can you write this one? So let me just write the syntax first so that you can have a good understanding on that. So first we should start with the do, then we should write the parameter clause. So whatever parameter you have, you're going to write here. Just let me write those things, and then you're going to start with the begin, and then you may write the keyword like sequential, execution, and then you can write the body of this statement, whatever logic you want to write. Now you can write the body, and then you are going to end this with end. And let me tell you that so the whatever you write in body, everything supports the same features as the procedure does. So whatever features like declarative or imperative, like a for loop or whatever you like if else or do while. So whatever the imperative statements or declarative, whether you declare any variable, so everything is going to support as we do in procedure. And also the good thing is we can also declare parameter clause, and this is not mandatory that you need to follow it. I will show you some example. So where if we do not use this parameter clause, we can still write this anonymous block. So this anonymous block is an executable DML statement which can be imperative as well as for declarative statements. And also the very good thing is that this parameter, so whatever we write for procedure, whatever the function we write in procedure, everything is going to support here. But few things are not going to support, like the in out parameter. Like in the parameter clause we may write like in or out. Like in procedure we have to write like in, and also for output parameter we write in out. But we cannot use the in out parameter. Like there are third parameter called in out which is together, so it is not going to support here. And also the another parameter called empty, the default empty is not going to support here. Like the empty parameter is not going to support here. Yes. So in my next session I will tell you about the empty parameter, so you will have good understanding what is empty parameter and what is the use in SQLScript or in procedure. So the in out parameter or the empty, these two parameters are not going to support in this anonymous block. And few more things are not required, like the container specific properties like language or security mode, so on, are not required. I think you remember that in the case of procedure we had to write like what is the language. Is the language is SQLScript, or security mode like invoker or definer. So those things are not required in this case. And now I will come into the example, and which is going to be the main part of this tutorial, because you will be understanding how can you write this one. So in my first example, so in this one, my example 1, here I have one table called cost center. So I will be reading this cost center table. Just let me show the data. Like we can see here, we have just 4 entries for cost center ID, validity start and validity ended. And now we're going to write this anonymous block here, and I will execute the output as well. So let me, I've already written that, like do, we have to start with the do. Then we have written the input clause parameter like in, like what we do in the procedure. Then we have to take one field. Suppose I'm going to take the field called ID. So let me remove everything. ID, and ID, it is type is integer, and we are giving this arrow sign, then value is 101, because we have seen that I'm going to read this first row. So that's why I'm giving this input right here. Then output, the output is the output table, so I'm going to return a table, and which is table type. And what is the value? It's the value is cost center ID is init and validity ended. So I'm gonna fetch the two fields, this cost center and validity end. I'm not going to take this validity start. We may write it, but in this example I'm just taking this two example. So, and then you have to give this question mark, so for this output. Now I'm writing this like out tab equal to select cost center ID validity ended from cost center table, where this ID, I'm just putting this ID right in here. So in that case, if I just execute this all the statements, now it's gonna give me the results up here. So this is just as simple as it is. So we are going to just this anonymous block is just similar like procedure, but the thing is it is not going to save anywhere. Like in the case of procedure or function, it always saves in your schema, but here in this case it is a executable statement and it just shows the data. And now I will show you a few more interesting example, and those will be very much interesting to learn about this one. And one more important note here is that the anonymous block cannot be used in procedure or function. So you cannot utilize this one in any procedure or any function, but you can call some other procedure into this block. I will also show this example. So let me show the example, this one. Like in this example, what I will do, I will show you one for loop. I will actually create one for loop, and by that I will insert some data into a table. So that will be very interesting to know how can we write the script, and this is going to be the anonymous block. So I'll just start with do begin, and this is also going to be the declarative method. I'm going to declare something in here. So, and as well as the iterative method, because I'm going to use the for loop. So this is my this is the structure, and then I will write in the body here. And as I told you earlier that we the input parameter, the parameter is not important to write here. It is not mandatory. So if you write it, that's another way to writing this code up here. Now I'm going to write in another way. So declare I integer. I'm declaring one variable called I, and then suppose I'm going to create a table called suppose table 1, and I'm going to create a table, so table 1, and it will contain a value called suppose I integer. And now I'm going to write one loop in here for I in then do. Now I'm writing the insert statement. I will write one star insert into this table, and just like any other statement. So I'm going to write this I in here. Then I will do the end for. So if you haven't watched my I have also made another tutorial on how to write for loop. You may watch in my channel. And so let's look into this example now. So what we have done, we have declared one variable I, then we have created a table. Then this table can be persistent table, and then we are going to do a for loop in here. Then this I will be iterated from 1 to 10, and it will be inserting the value in this table, so table 1. So let me execute that. So if I execute, I hope it will not show any error. So let me just see if there is any error. Okay, I have to give the comma in here. Yes, now it is executed without any error. So now I'm going to see the data, what data it has inserted. So select star from table 1. So if I just execute this select statement, so it will show the data from 1 to 10. So this is what the example does. So it is very good example to learn about now this block, another way of writing the SQL script, and how can you use the for loop. And I do have one more example, so be with me. So in this example, I will be showing you how to call a procedure. That's very interesting to know in this part. So I will write the same one, like do begin. Suppose I will be giving you a demo example so that you can also have understanding how to call a procedure. Suppose you have defined one T1, suppose it's a type of table, or you can directly assign here, no problem. Select from, suppose you have a table called tab, and from here you are actually taking the data, and then you are actually calling one procedure. Suppose any procedure you have prog name, and then you're putting the input parameter in here like T1, and you are actually fetching the data of T2. So in this case you will be selecting the data from T2, and then you're going to end this. So this is just a demo, very small example how to call a procedure. So you can call a procedure, so in this anonymous block. So just you're passing the variable T1 as an input here, and you're picking up the data in T2. So in this way you can actually call the procedure or function in this anonymous block. So what we have learned, so can you just quickly wrap up this? So in this tutorial today we learned about the anonymous block and how does it different from the procedure or function, and we have talked about the syntax, and the most important we have talked about the various example, like we have talked about the input and output parameter in here. Then we have talked about the how can we write one for loop. So this is just for a learning purpose. And the next one, how to call the procedure in this anonymous block. So that's all about the video. So please like this video if you have liked it, and please subscribe my channel and if you haven't done yet. So thanks for watching, and please look after my other videos. Those are very interesting to know about the SQL script and in all the videos related to SAP. So thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.